at the Pleasantview Museum. Again, at this point I probably should just stop apologizing. Y'all know what you're getting into, but I made a few changes. I added that extracted bug box. I moved, there was a bug poster there. I added those bird feather things instead, just because I actually had it used twice. I added a little teeny tiny stegosaurus in there. Just some minor changes. And I also updated the cowplant area with some different cowplant pictures and just some little tiny ones that people could see. And I don't think that I did anything in there. But today we are actually working on the science and robotics section. The first thing I knew I needed to address was the fact that the tree from the Belagoth, mystery experience was definitely sticking up out of the ground. Which, I could have just gotten rid of the tree, but I really liked the tree. It made that exhibit and I wasn't doing it. So plan B was platform, which mostly covered the tree. You can still see a few pieces, but I knew that I could cover that with actual items, so I wasn't super worried about it. Plus it just gives it a little bit more something, it makes it different over here. And we're all about that. I had the hardest time finding the fence that matched this stair set. My brain just was not wanting to see it, which is frustrating. I'm just I know that there is one, but where is you? Yeah, I almost used a different one, and I was like, no, it has to be here. Finally, success. So I knew I wanted to do a little robotics section. There was going to be a sciencey section, and then I wasn't really a space section, and I wasn't super sure otherwise what was going to go on. I did have some robotics art. I do end up removing that. It didn't fit. But yeah, we're going to explore the servo up here. I don't think Mortimer is responsible for creating the servo, but he's done a lot of science research, so, maybe he helped. He could have helped. I'm just kind of going through everything that I grabbed and being like, okay, does this actually look like a robot, or is it more sculpture? Making sure nothing is clipping. I'm honestly not sure who, in my ideal Sims canon, who would have invented the servo. I don't know if you guys think about things like this, but I certainly do. And yeah, I don't know who would be the ideal, this person done did the thing. There might actually be a person and I'm just not remembering. So yeah, that one is more sculpture to me, but I did want to keep it because it covers a lot of ground. And I was trying to cover up that tree. And I gotta use the creepy things that I downloaded for Puck Summer Dream forever ago. I do have some duplicates here and there, and that's because I've been decorating this for a while now, so I would place things, and then I would forget that I already had it in that pile, and be like, well, I don't want to miss out, so I would put it there, and then I'm like, oh, I already had it. Oh well. I had some cabinet height troubles. I honestly prefer the other one, but this one's definitely superior in terms of height and where the slots are and everything. I actually got to use quite a few Maxis objects for this, which surprised me. Not a ton, but more than I've been using. In this case alone, 2 of those they just come with the game. I don't think they're base game, but it doesn't even matter at this point. I really wanted to use the arm, but it just wasn't gonna fit, and I already knew it. And it was more important to me to include the trophies, as well as that little urn type box. I like the idea of them, memorializing maybe the first servo. I really like this little teeny tiny robot too. yeah, just kind of jammed everything in there. It's a bit cluttered, a bit chaotic, but again, this is meant to be a local museum just put together by regular sort of people. Like, I doubt anyone has, probably one person has a degree and everybody else is just kind of working off of that. Which is fine. That's fine for the local museum. Yeah, I was like, there's a lot of space in here, but there also wasn't. And so I was like, okay, well, I need to edit down what I have because I have way too much stuff. I knew I did want a tiny guinea pig section as well, because in The Sims 1, there was, like, the guinea pig flu. And for me, that was kind of like an iconic Sims disease sort of thing, which we don't really have, or guinea pig disease. We don't really have it anymore, but I wanted to kind of memorialize that. Like, they don't have it anymore because they found a vaccine or a cure or something, and so that's what that little section was going to be about. I do wish they kept it, though, because your Sim would get sick because their little pet guinea pig would bite them. But of course, we don't have guinea pigs anymore. We have wom rats. I also like the idea that guinea pigs don't exist in The Sims anymore because they were eradicated due to the diseases, which is horrible, but also kind of funny that they then made wom rats instead. Kind of like how people are like, I'm allergic to dogs, so I'm going to breed a poodle and a golden retriever and see what happens. See, I was trying to put some lighting in. Honestly, I was kind of overwhelmed with everything I had in here. It was just like, I have too much stuff, but I also knew that I had way more wall art than I had floor stuff, so I didn't want the middle to be like just empty. And I thought about a couple things while I was doing this. I'm like, well, maybe I could do like a little play center where they can build like the Lego rocket looking things that I have. But I didn't really like that. I knew I wanted the periodic table of elements. I had it in another part of the museum, but I moved it to this section because it made more sense. I also like the idea that someone was told to hang that up and they didn't really know where to put it, so they just put it right there. They're like, here, we got these posters in. We should put them in there. And they're just like, I'm just going to put it right there. There's probably a lot of interns who work here and high school kids. Like, I can even imagine, like, this is the job that you get when you first turn into a teen. You have 3 options. You could go work at, like, a restaurant. You could work at a retail place. Or no, 4, because there's a roller rink, too. Or you could go volunteer at the science museum. Or not science museum, the local museum. I really like these planet lights. And I could have stretched them all along the wall and had them in order and everything, but it seemed unnecessary. This is The Sims World. I just put them up. It's fine. Maybe whoever did it got lazy. And then I did want to, like, paint this part of the wall different. I just wasn't sure at first what to use, but actually, again, I used a Maxis wallpaper, which I've been doing a lot lately, much to my surprise and horror. But I liked it. It looked like something somebody probably got online that maybe looked better, and now they're just kind of dealing with it. They're like, well, it's not like what the picture showed, but we need to put something here. So yeah, this is my little guinea pig disease section. Which is funny, I was listening to a lot of science things, not on purpose while I was building this, but like I listened to about, oh gosh, I can't remember the name. It was about that comet that hit Jupiter, and like, it was super cool. I watched too many things and I have a terrible memory, but it was interesting how they actually ended up sending that scientist's ashes to space. And I was also listening to one of those like top 10 things about like the most expensive medicines or most expensive anything to buy, and one of them was like a medicine to cure a specific disease that a bunch of kids get all the time. So I was like, well, at least this fits. But yeah, I have a terrible memory, so Also, I don't know why these shelves don't have slots on every single shelf. I was so annoyed by that. I was like, where's the slots? There should be slots on all of these shelves. If you put one slot, you should put all slots. So I just did these. And then I wasn't super sure what to do on the top, so that's why I was like, well, I'll center it. We only have 5 of each of those jars. I like it though. Whether or not people think they're real or they think that they were just created, it's up to you, but they're cute either way. And it was still looking really open in here, and I did get rid of that poster. I might put it back, because now I forgot that I liked the idea. And then I wanted to keep this, because I thought it was cute, like the idea that kids could color and then hang up their own pictures so they feel like they're part of the museum. Which, again, is something you see at a lot of, like, small, local, teeny tiny hole-in-the-wall sort of historical sites as well. Like, they want people to interact. They want to be like, okay, Joe from California came here and he drew a bear holding a popsicle. Welcome to Yellowstone. Like, it's cute. So I did end up putting this wall here. I just feel like it helps break up the space a little bit. Plus, I wanted to hang a lot of these, like, space prints. Because I feel like that's also something they would have been able to get a hold of pretty easily and would be within their budget. It's just print out the poster kind of thing. And I did have to get rid of a lot of these other ones just because they felt like things you would have in your room or would be sold maybe in the gift shop, but not necessarily be hung up in the museum, like as a display. So I tried to be conscious of what belonged and what did not belong. Yeah, I have a lot of really great recolors of this poster. I wanted to keep the statue too. It was right. But then of course I kind of had a lot of dead floor space still. And I just had no idea what I wanted to do. I don't come into these with like a firm, this is what we're gonna do. So sometimes I do struggle a little bit just thinking like, well, what are we gonna do here? Because I don't know. Plus my brain is all spacey right now because I've been trying to update my Sims 4 game since, well, at the time of recording this, I'm supposed to stream tomorrow. I don't know when this is actually being posted. And yeah, I was like, well, crap. They just updated the whole game. I did not buy the expansion pack yet because I'm like, I'm gonna give it a week or two. This is me just kind of being like, can I edit out any of this yet? But then I was like, well, maybe I could just toss them all in display cases. Because I had quite a bit of like just small random things. So like the jars of fish. That's another thing that I noticed, especially in smaller museums, is like they'll have things that they don't know what to do with that don't match anything else that they have, but they'll just kind of chuck it into a case. So that's what I have with the little clownfish and everything. Like it's just in there. It doesn't really belong necessarily, but they didn't know what else to do with it, so they just kind of threw it in there and it's fine. Over here, I decided I wanted a bit of a display for kids that they could play with, so I was going to put it on a low table. I was going to put that little rocket. I wanted to keep the alien as well, that little setup, like they can pretend that they're dissecting or whatever, but it didn't work. I also struggled finding a freaking table that I liked. I went with that one because it kind of looks like a moon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not, it's not as crazy detailed, I would say, as some of the other spaces. But I think Mortimer is more like a medical type scientist. Like I think he was trying to work on the elixir of life, and he hasn't released any of that, so it was kind of hard to like tie this to Sims that are in Pleasantview as well, which was a bit difficult for me. So I just went with general science, because of course they do have quite the history with scientists in the area. It's just I didn't have a lot of like elixir of life CC that I could use to be like, oh, here's posters of Mortimer doing this or whatever. And I suppose I could create that, but like I'm not gonna get that crazy into it. I'm gonna make some display posters, but that's about it, which I still need to make. I'm putting it off. I've never recolored anything, and so I'm just, or like object wise, and I'm nervous. So yeah, if you like this video, definitely give it a like. It really does help. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to catch us on stream, sometimes I show things off, like I showed this off. And yeah, it's pretty fun. So I will see you in the next one.